So, oh, see, I just get so pissed at myself.
Take 3. It'll happen.
This is the RVCCIS video podcasting edition with Eric Wolf. Are you up or down?
I left and right.
Okay, with Eric Wolf and myself,
Can we
Stephanie
do up and
Washburn.
down?
I don't know.
It doesn't matter. It's not a good time to figure it out.
Whatever. And we're going to talk about the video cameras or what you need for video vlogs or video casting. So that's what we're going to talk about today. And obviously I am the Microsoft person and Eric is the Mac person, and Mac wins out most of the time for
I just think it's easier. So
yeah, it's all in what you know and what you're familiar with, I suppose.
So what I thought we wanted to do was start from the easiest possible thing and work our way up to the more complicated versions of how it is that we would be able to record and edit video. So whether or not you're doing like a vlog like this would be, or whether or not you are recording a PowerPoint presentation, or if you are recording a lecture as a video as opposed to just audio, what we'll do is we'll start with the fewest barriers to entry as easy as we possibly can. And what I would actually suggest to you is to start with as easy as you possibly can, so that you can get some momentum. And then as your skill set grows, as your patience with the limitations of some of the easier solutions goes, then you can start to invest in more time or even more dollars in a more robust video solution. So honestly, to start off for everybody, my suggestion is you've got a pretty good video capture device with your phones. Whatever phone it is that you have really doesn't matter. My suggestion is you do not want to record yourself in 4K because you'll be horrified at what the result looks like. I'm so craggly. Look at all the, it's
And if there's
right.
any shadow, it looks terrible.
And it will absolutely blow up the amount of storage on your phone. Even after all this time, I had never really recorded in 4K until I did the introduction for RVCCIS.info that I was sending actually just to you guys in CIS. So I thought, instead of talking like I do for my classes now, so instead of talking, via text in a message, I was just going to record it. So I sat over here on my couch and I recorded a 10-minute video talking about RVCCIS.info, and it was 14.7 gigabytes of space. I had no idea. It was recorded at 4K, 60 frames a second, and it totally blew up my phone. There was like virtually no space left over, and at 15 gig worth of space, it took forever to get off my phone. It was a huge mistake. So if you're going to record yourself on your phone or on an iPad or on an Android tablet, just whatever the default camera app is good enough. And my suggestion to you is don't do full quality. Restrict that a little bit. Either 720p or 1080p is fine. Don't go 4K because your students are never ever going to see it that way anyway. And all it does is take up way too much space on your computer, and all it does is take way too long to edit and export later on. So don't bother doing that.
I think on my Pixel phone, when I look at it right now, it does 1080p by default, so it doesn't do 4K off the bat.
Right. So it depends.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, it knows they don't want you to use up all your space.
I don't know. So, I didn't used to think that it was that big a deal to have like every pixel counts for it. But now you know, if I'm just taking like video of Barrett or whatever, I want all 4K 60 so that I can zoom in without losing any quality, etc. But like here in this environment, lose all the quality you want. Like nobody needs my Punim in 4K. It's a horror show.
All our little wrinkles.
Yeah, it gives you it grounds you really quickly, I think, that way. Like, all right, I'm old. That's the end of that. Um, so next, I would actually suggest, since your phone, either iOS or Android, is an investment you probably already have, the next easiest thing in the way of video capture, I actually suggest before we go to a laptop to do that with, I actually suggest making a little bit of an investment in an iPad. And I know everybody's going to say Apple Homer and all of that, and I earned all of that garbage, believe me. But what I'll tell you is, for a $250 investment in the current generation smallest capacity iPad, you get a dedicated video production machine for virtually nothing. So like I have a dedicated a video rather production machine, and it's this $3,000 iMac located behind us. And for less than a tenth of that price, you can recreate all of that with a 10-inch or 10.2-inch iPad, not the Pro model. Don't bother with any of that stuff. Just the cheapest iPad you can find, because it's going to have a good enough front-facing camera. It's going to have good enough microphones, and it's going to have more than adequate enough application support and editing support built right in, so that you never have to spend another dime doing any of your video editing stuff. So an iPad would actually be my second suggestion to you.
Yeah, and Eric and I were discussing this earlier, and his iPad, you want to say that again, where your iPad was faster than your computer?
Yeah, so I like to pretend that I only have one iPad, and it's this little iPad mini. I do the recording sometimes from here, but I actually have two iPads. And I have a 2018 iPad Pro. I got an open box. I would never shell out that kind of cash otherwise. So it was like a Best Buy super sale. So I got it for right around $500, and I used my faculty development funds for it. And to this day, it is faster than both my production iMac behind us and my mobile iPad Pro here, both of which cost $2,000 or $3,000. That iPad absolutely kills it when it comes to video exporting and like couchability, being able to sit on a couch and pretend like you're not working for, the 16th hour today, editing videos. It's so much easier. I'm actually contemplating getting the very, very big iPad with my own money this time around, so that I can sit on a couch without having to squint my way down to see everything, and blaze through 4K video editing like otherwise I couldn't otherwise do. But for all of us starting out, I would never, ever suggest that you have to make that investment. I actually really suggest that the $250, you can get them all the time. They do start at $329. If you walk into an Apple store, that's how much it would cost you. But if you wait just a couple of weeks, invariably Best Buy and Amazon both always have these for $250, and it is way more capacity for speed and ease than any other device that you're going to run into.
And what program do you use on that to do your editing? Because like I'm not a Mac, I don't know what program you use.
So there's a bunch of them. How about we do this? We'll bang out all of the editing programs when we come back through. So the first time through, why don't we just talk about the cameras? Next time through, we'll talk about the software again.
Perfect.
So on a Windows laptop, Actually, I do believe that Stephanie, yours is on a Surface?
Yep.
Surface Pro or Surface?
I have Surface. No, mine's Surface Pro.
Okay.
And then I have a Surface Go. And then and then I have my desktop at home, but I was
But
lucky.
with the webcam, right?
Yes, with that webcam, yeah, that I don't like that creates all the lines. Well, and then it's so generic. My webcam at home is so generic that I'm having a hard time finding, well, if I'm having a hard time finding like anywhere where I can change that refresh rate.
Mm-hmm.
But whatever, I spent like 20 bucks on it.
You live and learn. Well, you saw the last time how many pieces of equipment around here that probably don't get used every time. So you're like, yeah, that was a mistake. Go to the next one. So
Yeah.
that happens. If you're recording on a laptop, so a Surface Pro or anything else on the Windows side, or a MacBook Pro or an iMac or anything else on the Mac side, you're going to be stuck with whatever the baked-in camera there is. Now, I think everybody is discovering this slowly as we enter into our 4th month of quarantine. Is if you just place your laptop or your webcam like on the desk in front of you, they are going to be looking up your nostrils into infinity, as opposed to looking at you. Oh, wait a second. There we go. So just a little bit of a change. So if I was, down here, that's one thing. If I was up here, that'd be another. Pretty much what you want to do is just even with eye level is about right. It helps cut down on all these shadows you might see otherwise. An office is a terrible place to make videos. Like,
Yeah, well, look where I'm at.
yep, those lights are the
Ridiculous.
most harsh thing. There you go. See, there we go. Just repositioning the camera a little bit really does make a big difference in how, how much glare you have, how the shadows all work. And these are things that there's no quick, like cheat sheet I could give you for how to do 3-point lighting, or that's all bogus.
Yeah, but I have two at home. I have two in the front and one in the back, and it seems to do a lot better. Or what do you have the ring light, but
yeah, I two over here so I can see, and then the one behind me over here, and that tends to work pretty good. If I didn't wear a hat, it'd be less shadows there for that. But I'm shiny, so too bad.
like that right now.
We're terrible at this. So those would be the cameras that you could use if you were going to do like a vlog for your classes. So your phones are fantastic places to start, and I still use my phone all the time with just the stand we talked about the last time to be able to record those. Really, my suggestion is to invest a little bit of money if you're going to in an iPad, because just having a dedicated tablet essentially that you can do front to back, the recording, the editing, and the uploading is really great. Otherwise, if you've got your laptop here in front of you, those are also a fantastic place to start. Howdy, everybody. I know this makes for a weird kind of a place to cut here for this particular video, but we've been talking about what kind of camera you might use that you either already have, or, in the case of an iPad, you can get really inexpensively. The next piece of this video, or really the next video in the series here, is going to talk about the different software that you can use to actually edit your video. So to keep things separate, to keep them tidy and clean, what we'll do is we'll sign off this video here by saying thank you for watching the RVCCIS.info channel. This was our what cameras to use when recording video. Please join us in the next video for what software you might use to edit that video down. Thanks for watching.